Hello everyone, and welcome to another virtual 4-H embryology lesson. As you probably remember, we've been working on an experiment with some chemical reactions. Specifically, we've been looking at what happens when you combine the acetic acid from vinegar with the calcium in an eggshell. So remember, our chemical formula said that acetic acid plus calcium is going to give off something new, something different. It's going to be carbon dioxide, water, and calcium acetate. So we've been watching to see what would happen to our egg when we left it in vinegar. Let's check back in on our egg and see what's happening. And it looks like most of the calcium has dissolved in the vinegar. So let's go ahead and we're going to rinse off our egg and see what's left there. So our calcium in the shell has definitely all dissolved, and we're left with just this outer membrane holding the contents of our shell together. So if you think back when we were talking about the parts of an egg and learning about them, the shell is really important because it protects the contents of the egg, whether it's a fertile egg or a non-fertile egg. And if we have a fertile egg, then it's important that our embryo is able to get still some gases like oxygen, and humidity needs to be able to pass through the shell. So our shell has pores that allow that to happen, but then we have, remember, this membrane here. And the membrane actually allows some liquids and some gases to pass through it as well. And that's very important for the development and survival of our chicken embryo. But it also means that something kind of neat has happened during this experiment. This membrane and egg is actually a little bit larger than it was when we got started. You can see it's kind of changed shape a little bit too. It's more round and bulging. And the reason that happened is because the membrane allowed water, some water, to pass through it from the vinegar. The vinegar had more water in it naturally than the egg did. And through a process called osmosis, that water was able to pass through our membrane into the egg because water wanted to have closer to an equal amount on the inside of the membrane as the outside of the membrane. So there's another experiment we can actually do with our egg, thinking about osmosis. So we are going to use some corn syrup, and corn syrup has a much lower concentration of water molecules in it than the vinegar did, and a lower concentration of water molecules than are currently in our egg. Our egg has gotten so large because it's taken in so much water that it almost doesn't fit in our glass anymore. But we're going to leave our egg in the corn syrup overnight and see if through osmosis, we can reverse the process. We've left our egg sitting in corn syrup overnight. So let's take it out and see what's happened with the water molecules inside of our egg and how that's affected our egg shape. As our egg sat in the corn syrup, the water molecules began to move from the egg through the membrane and back into our corn syrup. And so our egg has actually kind of gone back to being egg shape and shrunk in size a little bit. And that is all because of osmosis. Feel free to give this experiment a try at home. If you've had your egg sitting in vinegar, and all of the calcium of the shell has now dissolved off through that chemical reaction, you can try placing your egg in some corn syrup. Leave it sitting in your corn syrup at least overnight and see what happens to your egg size and shape. We'll see you tomorrow.